2012. I'm Michael Oyer.
And I'm Sophia Wanuna, and we begin with breaking news just in that there's been a twin explosion at Italy where one police officer is reported injured. Again, breaking news just in. There's been a twin explosion in Italy where one police officer is reported injured. We will be bringing you details of that twin explosion in Italy even as the details come into us. Of course, this attack just comes a few weeks after the Polycarp Church one where one child was killed in a grenade attack. One more time, there's been a twin explosion in Italy where one police officer is reported injured. We'll bring you more details of that. Let's begin our bulletin with a look at the highlights.
Stop blackmailing Kenyans. CIC tells off MPs in send-off package showdown.
Exam cheats to be jailed for 5 years.
Atwoli pays fine to escape 3-month jail term.
Still on Ktn Prime, 5 students arrested over dome fire. Welcome to Ktn Prime. The Commission on the Implementation of the Constitution has accused lawmakers of engaging in a deliberate effort to divert public attention from their unconstitutional actions of awarding themselves hefty severance packages. In a statement to newsrooms, the Commission said any attempt by Parliament to blackmail state organs by threatening not to pass any laws unless MPs' demands are met is both unconstitutional and an abuse of power. Speaker of the National Assembly Kenneth Marende said he would not be drawn into the debate. The Law Society of Kenya has threatened to move to court should Parliament twist the government by failing to pass the Finance Amendment Bill 2012 after President Kibaki refused to approve their send-off packs.
What that means is that he must have...
On Thursday, lawmakers were in a charged mood after President Mwai Kibaki refused to approve their send-off packs, where each lawmaker was to take home 9.3 million shillings at the end of their term, January 14th next year. MPs decided to sweep aside public fury over an apparent scheme to loot from state coffers.
For once, we are not going to be ashamed to fight for our rights.
Some lawmakers hit out at the President, Finance Minister Robinson Githae, and Chairman of the Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution.
Nyacha is misplaced, confused, deceitful.
The Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution has hit back with vengeance. In a statement, the Commission says the conduct by MPs is unacceptable and must not be entertained by Kenyans. The Commission says that it is not the mandate of Parliament to determine their own remuneration. The Commission says it acted within its mandate when it advised the President not to assent to the unconstitutional law that MPs had passed, awarding themselves hefty send-off packages. The Commission further said attempts by lawmakers to introduce arguments on the floor of the House about monies paid to its chairperson or any other person was a deliberate effort to divert public attention from their unconstitutional actions. The Commission says it has not shied away from raising issues of violation of the Constitution, whether committed by the Executive, Parliament, or any other institution. The Commission argues its remuneration was arrived at as is provided in law enacted by Parliament, adding that discussion on salaries of all state officers is a legitimate discussion and is the core mandate of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission.
The government intends to bring new tax measures to this House to approve so that it can get money to increase some of the salaries to commissioners and other offices. Information I'm giving the minister is do not bother. This House will not approve the proposed VAT Act.
The Charles Nyacha-led Commission was quick to warn that any attempt by Parliament to blackmail state organs by threatening not to pass any laws unless MPs' self-driven demands are met is both unconstitutional and an abuse of power. And the Law Society of Kenya has threatened to move to court to check the lawmakers' insatiable greed for money even after the President said the economy cannot afford their demands for lavish pay. And as debate rages on MPs' packs, Speaker of the National Assembly invoked the sub judice rule not to drift along.
The matter is being litigated on. There are actually cases in court. And as a lawyer, matters which are currently being litigated on as sub judice.
The Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution reminded its critics that the chairperson is the official spokesperson of the Commission and speaks with full confidence and authority of all CIC members. The Commission called upon Kenyans to remain vigilant and guard against violations of the Constitution. Patrick Amimo, Ktn Prime.
Exam cheats, be warned. People found leaking the national primary and secondary school examinations will be jailed for 5 years or fined 1 million shillings upon conviction. This is part of the Kenya National Examination Bill 2012, which President Kibaki assented to. The new law targets unscrupulous people who unlawfully access examination papers and sell them to students. KTN's Malaki Villa reports.
It's a new form of collusion.
These are the revelations that the Minister of Education gave last year after the national examination results were released, revealing the newest tactics the students had come up with to help them face the exams. And now the government fears for the same to be repeated. With roughly 2 weeks to the commencement of the national examinations, students on their feet to see to it that they are well equipped to face the test that will determine their transition to the next phase of academic life, it is with no doubt that many will be tempted to be involved in exam cheating, especially now that many candidates are in a state of panic following the 3-week teacher strike. However, the government seems to lock the door for exam cheats. President Kibaki has assented to the bill that will see individuals who collude and facilitate exam cheating jailed for 5 years. The law also spells out penalties and other punitive measures against exam malpractices, some of which include unauthorized possession of examination papers, material or information, leakage of examination papers, loss and misuse of examination paper or material, damage or destruction to examination material, impersonation, and copying at an examination. With this, maybe we'll get to know the true academic giants of the 2012 national examinations come next year. Malaki Villa, KTN Prime.
And that story by Malaki Villa leads us to the big question tonight, and we ask, do you believe a 5-year jail term will deter exam malpractices? Do you believe a 5-year jail term will deter exam malpractices?
Please do send your comments beginning with a yes or no, and our SMS number is 8040. We'll sample some of your comments and give you the poll result at the end of this live newscast. And as we said at the beginning of this newscast, there is breaking news that's reaching our newsroom right now. The information that we have is that there has been an explosion in Eastleigh along Muratina Road, to be precise. 1 policeman has been reported injured, but we'll give you further details as we receive them. The National Hospital Insurance Fund is set to be renamed the National Health Insurance Fund. This change is seen as part of operationalization of the right to health.
Essential medicine may also be more readily available in hospitals once the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency is transformed into an independent authority with its own budget line. KTN's Ansoi Mwendia with this report.
Cabinet passed the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority Bill of 2012 Thursday, in a move the industry has received well and hopes will improve procurement and distribution of medicine for public hospitals in the country. The Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya PSK says it is happy with the move to create an autonomous authority under an Act of Parliament as opposed to the current agency created through a legal notice and operating under the Ministry of Medical Services.
It gives it more powers without interference from the line ministry so that they can make the operations more efficient. 2, also it will have its own budget, whereby this money is actually is given to KEMSA for procurement. Right now it waits for the line ministry to tell them we have this money, now procure.
Dr. Paul Moniki, the chair of PSK, says the bill, once enacted, will empower KEMSA to set its priorities based on orders from counties.
Each county will be able to procure and even give the orders to KEMSA depending on their needs, not what KEMSA thinks or what the ministry thinks they need. Okay. That is now the pull system, not the push what they have been doing now, which has not been efficient. With that system, we are getting, first of all, some essential drugs lacking in some particular regions. and which are actually needed elsewhere.
The authority shall procure, warehouse and distribute drugs and medical supplies for prescribed public health programs, the National Strategic Reserve, prescribed essential health packages, and national referral hospitals. The authority shall also play an advisory role to the health facilities at both national and county governments. Dr. Monique is, however, keen to have the number of pharmacists in the KEMSA board increased.
At least 2/3 of that board there must be pharmacists.
Other players in the sector lauded the move to trim the size of the board to 7. The National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, is also set to transform into a health fund, which will set the stage for universal health insurance. The move towards universal cover for all Kenyans has been bitterly contested since it was first introduced by Charity Ngilu, who was health minister in 2005. The guarantee of right to health under the new constitution, however, provides a framework for health insurance for all, including those without an income. This transformation of NHIF will allow both the employer and the employee to contribute to the fund. Cabinet also approved the National Ambulance Service that will ensure all Kenyans have access to ambulance services. Anso Mwendia, KTN Prime.
Prime Minister Raila Odinga has said there's nothing wrong in meeting Eldoret North MP William Ruto to discuss politics. This follows reported night meetings between the two politicians. Elsewhere, Deputy Prime Minister Uhuru Kenyatta has told foreigners to stop meddling in the country's politics. Meanwhile, Gashoka Member of Parliament Mutava Musyimi has pulled out of the presidential race in favor of Uhuru. Here is KTN Samugina with today's roundup of political activities.
The Gashoka MP dropped his presidential bid in favor of Deputy Prime Minister Uhuru Kenyatta. The former clergyman withdraws from the race barely months after defecting to Uhuru's The National Alliance, where he vowed to challenge Uhuru at the party's primaries. Mutava ditched Democratic Party DP after the party censured his presidential push, claiming he lacked a national appeal. Musyimi is to defend his Gashoka parliamentary seat on a TNA ticket.
I wish to withdraw my candidature as president. But I stand down so that we can close ranks and stand to a man with Uhuru Kenyatta so that we can capture the presidency of this republic.
Meanwhile, Uhuru Kenyatta led a G7 onslaught against Chief Mediator Kofi Annan over remarks that if William Ruto and himself become president, they will sour diplomatic relations between Kenya and the West.
Sijawahi kusikia jirani moja akisimama akisema ya kwamba Uhuru Kenyatta akichaguliwa hatutafanya kazi na yeye. Mmesikia jirani wetu akisema hivyo? Haya basi tuendelee, namba 2 nimeweza. Sijawahi kusikia Mwafrika isipokuwa wale watalii walikuwa hapa. Sijawahi kusikia viongozi wengine wakisema Uhuru Kenyatta akichaguliwa hawatafanya kazi na yeye. Mmesikia nyinyi? Basi kama hao wengine hawataki kufanya kazi na sisi wakae, hata mimi sina haja na hao.
The ripple effects of Annan's statement were being felt at the coast where Ruto touched base.
The people of Kenya are competent to elect their own leaders. They know who or who not to elect. Anything beyond that is an affront on the people of Kenya.
Sasa tunaambia Mheshimiwa Kofi Annan, wewe kwako ni Ghana. If you want to advise the Ghanaians on who to elect and who not to elect.
In Kilgoris, Prime Minister Raila Odinga sent the strongest signal to affirm a clandestine night meeting between himself and Eldoret North MP.
Mimi nilisema ati ODM ni chama cha Wakenya wote. Nikasema hata wale ndugu wetu ambao walitoroka, mlango ni wazi. Warudi nyumbani.
Samugina, KTN Prime.
Kanu Chairman Gideon Moi claims Kanu remains the only political party capable of uniting Kenyans. Speaking in Samburu, Gideon said the constant party hopping by MPs and presidential candidates indicates instability in some political parties.
The Kanu Brigade pitched tent in Baragoi, Samburu North. The former ruling party announced that soon its highest decision-making organ, the National Delegates Convention, will convene to decide on which presidential candidate the party will support in the forthcoming general election.
Wengi wanauliza chama cha Kanu utaunga nani kwa rais? Na tumesema yale yote tutatatua kwa National Delegates Conference ambayo tutaamua ikifika by December. Ndio sisi na nyinyi ndio tutaamua ndio nani tutapatia kura kwa urais.
But Gideon Moi took a swipe at the ongoing party hopping and secret night meetings to cut political deals. The Kanu chairman says only the former ruling party has a manifesto that will unite and develop the country.
Ati wanakutana usiku, kukutana kusema mitapatia mimi watu wangu, mwingine anasema nitakupatia huyu. Wewe binadamu utauzwa, utakubali kuuzwa? Utakubali kuuzwa? Hata mimi Gideon Moi siwezi kubali.
Uongozi ambaye ina maslahi ya mwananchi, ambaye inajali maslahi yako mwenyewe kama mwana Kenya, ni ile ya chama cha Kanu.
Kanu Secretary General Nick Salat on his part faulted the ambiguity in the acrimonious gender parity regulations, saying the party was opposed to the constitution because of such grey areas.
Hii katiba ambaye tulisema hapana imekuja sasa kutatiza nchi hii. Kuna mengi ambaye haijasuluhishwa.
Na mzee Moi ameinua watu wengi sana katika Jamhuri ya Kenya, wakiwemo William Ruto na Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Lakini Waswahili wasema asante ya punda.
Samogina, Ktn Prime.
Vocal Court Secretary General Francis Atwoli has been released from jail after paying a 500,000 shilling fine. High Court Judge Justice Isaac Renaola this morning sentenced Atwoli to 3 months in jail with an option of a fine for defying a court order issued 2 years ago. KTN's Ankiguta reports.
The High Court found the flamboyant trade unionist guilty of inciting tea pickers to destroy tea plucking machines and for calling a tea workers' strike in violation of a court order barring him and others from doing so. In addition, Atwoli was also ordered to place a public apology in 2 local dailies within 21 days. Together with officials of the Kenya Plantation and Agricultural Workers Union, Atwoli was accused of calling a strike to oppose the introduction of tea plucking machines by multinational companies in Kericho, Sotik, Kisii and Nandi regions. Atwoli had argued that the machines would render tea workers redundant. The trade unionists had also argued that the new technology went against a commitment by the government to create at least 500,000 jobs annually.
Wale wamefungiwa kwa mashamba, mrudi muambie hata kesho wakae kwa nyumba zao. Hapo nasikia mpaka mtakaposikia kwa radio nikisema mrudi kazini.
The Kenya Tea Growers Association had gone to court seeking to have Atwoli and officials of the Kenya Plantation and Agricultural Workers Union committed to jail for dishonoring court orders issued in October 2010.
There are many people who have similar contempts but have never been taken to a court of law and to be equally charged. You look at cases of the teacher strike where a court had said it was very legal, but they still went on ahead to carry out their strike. So indeed, from the Kenya National Union of Teachers down to the teachers in class, that was another contempt of court that no action has been taken against them to date.
In his defense, Atwoli told the court that he was not properly served the court papers but only learnt about it from a local daily. However, the judge said he believed that Atwoli had proper knowledge of the orders.
Police are investigating a number of politicians and businessmen said to be financing the Mombasa Republican Council MRC. According to the police, the politicians and businessmen under investigation are from the coast region and are likely to be arrested soon. Meanwhile, President Mwai Kibaki has warned members of the MRC against disrupting the national examinations. Here are the details.
Just a day after Cabinet ordered security agencies to crack down on the secessionist group Mombasa Republican Council and any other militant, criminal and terrorist elements who have threatened to disrupt the election, CID boss Ndegwa Muhoro today announced that they were following leads on possible financiers of MRC.
Yes, you're doing that without naming names. Once, if you have any credible evidence, then you take paper to court. If there's no credible evidence, we leave it at that.
Muhoro urged senior police officers at the coast region not to fear, but instead take firm action to tame the group. In efforts to contain the gang's criminal activities, just this week, MRC's spokesman Mohamed Mraja and Secretary Randun Zai were arrested. The Internal Security Minister Kato Olemetito had last week announced that they had received intelligence that MRC was planning to disrupt the national examinations at the coast. President Mwai Kibaki has today warned the MRC against plans to disrupt national examinations at the coast region.
If you want to demonstrate anything, you will not demonstrate it to the children who are doing examination. Some of these people who are going back to those primitive things literally do not belong to our society. And we can send them away and they can go to hell.
Also last week, Internal Security Minister said that the Attorney General would be appealing a High Court decision in June that lifted a ban on MRC.
7 people died and 7 others were injured after a public service vehicle collided head-on with another car at Kibarani in Mombasa County.
A 1-month-old baby is among those who survived the crash. Witnesses say the infant was thrown out of the window of one of the vehicles seconds before the crash. The infant was taken to Pwani Hospital where the injured have been admitted.
Well, the matatu was heading to Mikindani from Mombasa when the accident occurred this morning. Just yesterday, 5 people died in a road accident on Mombasa-Voi Highway. In July this year, 3 people were killed when the bus they were traveling in collided with a truck at the same spot.
And a reminder of our big question tonight. We're asking you whether you believe
that a 5-year jail term will deter exam malpractices. Will a 5-year jail term deter exam malpractices?
8040 is our SMS number. Begin with a yes or no. Of course, a brief comment followed. Your name and location as well is always appreciated. Do you believe a 5-year jail term will deter exam malpractices?
Well, you are watching KTN Prime, and just ahead, a new global hunger index indicates that Kenya is improving on food security. Please do stay with us.
Everybody loves bread, but only the very finest bread can love you back. So soft to touch and so tasty.
Timiza na M-Pesa. Win a Mercedes E200. To enter, simply use Nunua na M-Pesa, pay bill, or even do your banking through M-Pesa. There will also be 20 daily cash winners of 25,000 shillings and 25 winners weekly of up to 5,000 shillings.
Relax, uko na M-Pesa.
African dishes in association with Golden Fry.
Fish fingers. Ingredients: ½ kilogram fish fillet, 1 cup all-purpose flour, 2 eggs beaten, 3 cloves of garlic crushed, 1½ cups of breadcrumbs, salt and pepper to taste, golden fry oil for frying. Directions: preheat the golden fry oil in a deep frying pan. Cut the fish into finger-shaped pieces. In a mixing bowl, combine the all-purpose flour with salt and pepper. In another mixing bowl, mix the beaten egg and crushed garlic. In a Ziploc bag, pour in the breadcrumbs. Dip the fish fingers in the flour mixture and coat evenly all round. Then into the beaten egg mixture, letting excess egg drip off. Finally, put the fish fingers into the breadcrumbs, lock the bag and shake to evenly coat the fish fingers. Fry the fish fingers in batches in the already hot oil for 2 to 3 minutes or until golden brown. Remove and drain on a paper towel. Serve with lemon halves and tartar sauce.
Golden Fry. Fries more, less longer.
The 10th edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon takes place on the 28th of October. Get yourself ready by engaging in daily exercises. The top reasons to exercise include: helps to increase your overall health awareness, helps you to maintain an independent lifestyle, reduces the level of abdominal obesity, a significant health risk, improves your overall quality of life. Prepare yourself to run for a reason.
Register now at all Standard Chartered Bank branches, Nakumatt supermarkets and online on www.nairobimarathon.com. Registration closes on Sunday, 21st October 2012. Run for a reason.
Life insurance from Old Mutual, life goes on.
Francis Atwoli, the Secretary General of Kotu, will be holding a fundraiser in aid of tea pickers and pluckers school-going children in Kericho. This will be at the Kericho Teachers College tomorrow, 13th October 2012, starting at 10 a.m. He will be assisted by the Kotu Executive Board members and General Secretaries. Tune in live on KTN for the proceedings.
Behind Kenya's correctional facilities, a story of men and women paying for crimes they have committed. Those who steal your daughter's innocence. Those who have killed your neighbor. To those who steal your child.
Sasa ule mtoto sijui niliwatoka kwa sitting room but wakamtoa kwa sack. Alikuwa na custard na alikuwa na uniform.
This is home to both locals and foreigners. Case Files, where crime and justice meet.
Nikon Safaricom Live is back on your screens. Catch all the hype this Sunday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. featuring Camp Moon, Jimmy Gate, Jaguar, Sauti Soul, Size 8, and Jalango. Nikon Safaricom Live Kisumu edition, exclusively on KTN.
For the first time ever, all Kenyan television and radio stations are coming together to bring you the presidential debates. All presidential aspirants face off on one stage for the top job. The President of the Republic of Kenya, beginning the 26th of November 2012 across all stations. You can be part of this historic event by sending the candidates an SMS or email with questions questions and issues that you would like addressed to the SMS numbers and email address on your screen.
Welcome back to Ktn Prime.
5 students have been arrested in Nyeri in connection with last evening's fire that destroyed a dormitory at Gyakanja Boys High School.
This is the second fire at the school in a week, and police in Nyeri say the 5 students will be charged in court with arson and destruction of property. KTN's Karonderi reports from Nyeri.
These are students from Gyakanja Boys High School in Nyeri, arrested yesterday night by police from the Nyeri Central Police Station for suspected arson.
We have closed the school indefinitely, so we shall not have students in school for now.
On Tuesday night, a dormitory at Gyakanja Boys High School was burnt down by a fire that initially nobody knew its cause, until news of a suspected arson started trickling in after verification that the fire could not have been caused by an electric fault. The initial fire affecting 74 students who lost all their bedding, uniform and all personal effects. But what is more puzzling now is that just yesterday night, 2 nights after the first dormitory fire, some students were caught trying to set ablaze another dormitory. This time around, the other students allegedly caught the suspected arsonist in his tracks, allegedly fleeing from the burning dormitory towards the classroom.
The boys themselves arrested 1 student who reported or mentioned some 4 others.
It is very unusual to this school. We had come to a point where we were feeling like the school is quite stable.
Fortunately, the fire was immediately put out by students who were alerted at about 7 p.m. The student who was caught by other students spilled the beans after he was forced to name his alleged accomplices. Here, seen in a police car. 5 boys in all, arrested by police for allegedly destroying a dormitory and trying to burn down another.
That kind of crime, I rather say that it's a serious crime.
The 74 boys affected by the initial fire have been sleeping in these rooms set aside for the forthcoming KCSE examinations, with the Gyakanja Boys principal Nelson Bekenya appealing for aid to reconstruct the destroyed dormitory.
We are aware that the examination is 2 weeks away, so we shall be meeting as soon as possible and deliberate on the issues and things which have been happening in the school.
The arrested students will be held in police custody until the investigations are complete before being arraigned in court. After burning a dormitory on Tuesday night at Gyakanja High School, the boys are seemingly at it again after yet another dormitory was burnt down last night, and the students now are in custody awaiting to face the law and perhaps sending out a strong message to other students who might be contemplating acts of arson. Carol Derry for KTN in Nyeri.
So there has been a scroll tag on your screen indicating breaking news that there have been 2 explosions in Isli, and we're now joined by reporter Hussein Mohammed to bring us the latest. He's at Isli. Hello, Mohammed.
Yes, Sophia.
Would you bring us up to date with what's happening at Isli right now?
Yes, I am between Ushirika Estate and Juja Road, where 2 explosions have just been had. The first explosion occurred at around between 7:45 and 8 p.m., while the second explosion occurred at 9 p.m. Well, there are claims that the OCS Pangani could have been the one who witnessed the second explosion. The explosion occurred in a garbage dustbin around the Juja Road, between Ushirika Estate and the Juja Road. Yes, Sophia.
Have there been any other injuries except the policeman?
Right now, just 1 policeman confirmed injured, who is confirmed to be the OCS at Pangani.
All right. This also being, as you mentioned, near Juja Road, how far or how near is it to the last blast, the latest one we reported about a week ago at St. Polycarp Church? How far is the distance?
Well, Sophia, actually it's 50 meters from where we had the Juja St. Polycarp Church, where one Ian Moria from the Sunday school died. It's just 50 meters from the place. Yes,
all right.
yeah.
And who is present there right now? Is there more security presence? What are they doing at the scene?
Well, the security are present, but they are fears because they are fearing there could be another explosion, so they are taking their chances. The security, they have formed a barricade between the place where it occurred and Juja Road where St. Polycarp's Church. So they have formed a barricade. They are still waiting to confirm, but you can see the CIDs here, the APs are here, and the police uniforms are here.
All right. Have the media been addressed by any of the police officers, or is there any government official present?
Currently, there's no government official at the scene, but the OCPD in Pangani is at the scene.
All right, Hussein, thank you very much for that update. We will be coming back to you for more details. That's our reporter Hussein Mohammed, just bringing us up to date with what's happening right now at Isli, where he tells us there were 2 explosions, as we've been reporting. One police officer believed to be injured. Of course, this incident takes place just about 150 to 100 meters from the St. Polycarp Church, where an explosion was about a week ago, and Ian Moria was killed in that incident. We'll continue to bring you updates of that breaking story, even when the details come into us. Now, take a short break. We'll be back with business news. Stay with us.
Francis Atwoli, the Secretary General of Kotu, will be holding a fundraiser in aid of tea pickers and pluckers school-going children in Kericho. This will be at the Kericho Teachers College tomorrow, 13th October 2012, starting at 10 a.m. He will be assisted by the Kotu Executive Board members and General Secretaries. Tune in live on KTN for the proceedings.
Stand by for code word. Code word is imminent. Bond. James Bond.
Nikon Safaricom Live is back on your screens. Catch all the hype this Sunday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. featuring Camp Moon, Jimmy Gate, Jaguar, Sauti Soul, Size 8, and Jalango. Nikon Safaricom Live Kisumu Edition, exclusively on KTN.
In this 21st century, we are still losing lives through unhealthy alcoholic drinks. Children are left orphaned and families left broken. This shouldn't happen. A healthy drink means a healthy family and a healthy working nation. This message is brought to you by Vienna Ice Ready to Drink Vodka, mixed to precision. We care.
From the most stylish of streets to the roughest of roads, from the town by day to the country at night.
The Nissan Navara Double Cab is one of the unique pickups in the market. One of the features that distinguish the Navara from the rest of the Nissan off-road family is its powerful 2.5-litre common rail turbo engine with outstanding fuel efficiency. The Navara has a sleek yet tough appearance. Everything about the Nissan Navara's exterior exudes power and confidence. It is an ideal vehicle either for individuals who enjoy an off-road lifestyle or business people looking for a reliable pickup.
Nani kama Nissan?
KTN
KTN Business Today, brought to you by Britam. We are with you every step of the way.
Welcome to KTN Business Today. For the second month in a row, Kenyans are likely to see an upward review of fuel prices. The Energy Regulatory Commission is expected to release the latest pump station price reviews on Sunday, as is the routine every 30 days. Philip Keitani reports.
In what has become customary, the Energy Regulatory Commission is expected this Sunday to announce new fuel prices. This is done under the notion of creating fair play within the petroleum industry and to cushion Kenyans from unfair pricing. Just like in the last review, it is expected that pump prices will for the second month in a row edge up. This will mean tightening of the cost of living belt for most Kenyans. Key among the factors likely to push up the prices has been said is the recently witnessed fall of the Kenyan shillings, though slightly. The net effect of the average fall from 84 shillings to the dollar to 85 shillings to the dollar is expected to create room for an upward review. The implications of such a price increase in the economy has already been pointed with the expected increase in the cost of electricity. The price review will also instantly be effected in the public transport with a ripple effect to the key sectors of the economy, among them agriculture. But while Kenyans wait for Sunday's review, already some cases of fuel shortages is being reported across the country. In Nairobi, late Thursday and Friday morning saw some pump stations register outages. However, a spot check by KTN in the course of the day indicated most had started getting the refills. Philip Keitani for KTN Business Today.
The Institute of Certified Public Secretaries of Kenya, ICPSK, has joined the ranks of professional institutions condemning attempts by members of parliament to award themselves hefty send-off packages. The institute says the actions by the MPs, apart from being illegal, did not meet the threshold on good governance. The send-off package contained in the Finance Bill 2012 has been rejected by President Mwai Kibaki, sending parliament back to the drawing board.
The proposals were a reflection of a total conflict of interest by the members of parliament attempting to award themselves the package. This amounted to a breach of the trust that all the Kenyans have bestowed on our members of parliament. We should all reject them. And once again, we want to thank the President for saving the Kenyans from this burden.
With demand for sorghum required for beer making rising and low supply across the country, East African Brewers has turned to farmers in Mbita constituency to meet its demand. The brewer has contracted more than 6,000 farmers in the region as it tries to boost its supply of the key ingredient. EABL has in the past few years increased its partners with sorghum growers in various parts of the country as it seeks to reduce reliance on the relatively expensive barley, part of which is imported.
Sorghum farming in Western Kenya was once seen as a low-income earner, but of late, it has become one of the sources of wealth for farmers in the region. Farmers in Mbita constituency can now smile all the way to the bank after harvesting the sorghum due to the availability of the ready market. EABL's demand for sorghum rose sharply to 32,000 tons last year, nearly 3 times the 12,000 tons it used a year earlier, as it cuts its reliance on barley, which is becoming more costly.
Kuna wakati tulikosa market mpaka tukabidi tuchome tu mazao tulipanda.
Sorghum is already being grown in Mukambani and Siaya through partnerships between the brewer and Equity Bank. Farmers are given loans and inputs, and EABL commits to buy at a given price that ensures a minimum return.
Farmers, other than having food for themselves, they can also sell this grain to East African breweries, and that market is assured. That market is there. No matter how much grain that the farmer has, so long as he is willing to sell it to East African breweries, it will be bought.
The company is betting on growing its consumption of the Senator beer brand to expand market share in the low-end segment, where increased competition is expected from new laws legalizing traditional, often cheap liquor. Michael Karanja, KTN Business Today.
Mobile service provider U-Mobile has launched BlackBerry services to its subscribers as it seeks to grow its market share. According to the firm, its subscribers will have an option of 8 service plans to pick from both retail and corporate customers. Additionally, the network provider says the devices will not be locked to its network while giving away 2 months of free subscription upon purchase of the phones.
U-Mobile is also launching their BlackBerry services today. We have a variety of devices on offer, but BlackBerry is just more than just devices. It is also a complete solution which encompasses emailing, instant messaging, and browsing on the internet using their services. So we are offering these as services both to corporates as well as a lot of our youthful individuals for whom we have a special offer at launch, where on purchase of the devices you can get 2 months of a BlackBerry complete plan free of charge, so you don't pay any additional subscription for it.
Here now is the financial market report.
KTN Business Today, brought to you by Britam. We are with you every step of the way.
Welcome back. One word, Parliament. It has become synonymous with the most obnoxious acts in the country. This institution has upset many for its self-centered manner in carrying out business. Most recently, MPs awarding themselves a hefty 2 billion shilling send-off package. The rejection of the same has put MPs on the edge and are now on a blackmailing mission, all in the quest for money and power. Here's this week's edition of News Shot.
It is a mad, mad world, a world dominated by quest for money and power. God made man, man made money, and money made man mad. That is Kenya's parliament.
For once, we are not going to be ashamed to fight for our rights, because our rights are enshrined, just like the rights of commissioners and other public officers.
Call it a nocturnal parliament, hit by quorum hitches in the day, but quite active at night. A collection of self-seekers, you might say, to loot public coffers. And dare you challenge them? Even the public will face the wrath of questioning these honorable members, though not so honorable in their deeds.
Is it in order, Madam Speaker, for us to be always labeled and hide because we want votes? Yet those votes are also people whose rights we must be protecting when we cannot even protect ours. Order, members.
Empty debates make the loudest noise.
It is finished. It's on a point of order.
Here, the noise was hitting the roof. MPs making noise like little crybabies. The pain of being denied over 2 billion shillings. While teachers and doctors' industrial action over better remuneration took weeks to be diffused, it takes parliamentarians only 8 minutes in the night to award themselves outrageous packs. Never mind, they are rated among the best paid, not only in the region, but in the world.
We will move to court to declare the offending provisions to be unconstitutional.
And so they take on anyone who will dampen their ambition to break the record as world best paid MPs.
How did the salary of Charles Yachai move from 400 to 1.2, and who are involved in the negotiations?
Commissioners have condemned this house as composed of people who are greedy, who are not caring about Kenyans. And yet, when we look here, for example, Commissioner Nyachai, he earns over 1.2 million.
And specifically the chairperson of CIC, who has been very vocal on this issue of gratuity, that members of parliament have been condemned for taking home 9 million or 3 million or 4 million at times. How much is the chairperson of CIC and the other commissioners paid in terms of gratuity?
And they are stopping at nothing in their push. Blackmailing their own country makes you wonder where their loyalty lies.
The government intends to bring new tax measures to this house to approve so that it can get money to increase some of the salaries to commissioners and other offices. Information I'm giving the minister is do not bother. This house will not approve the proposed VAT Act.
Over 80 MPs, a list of names available, appear to have an insatiable quest for public money to massage their growing egos. But not all MPs were singing from the same hymn book.
Munaona yale maovu inaendelea, hata sisi wabunge tukajiongezea mishahara kwa njia ambayo ni kinyume cha sheria.
Hii sio wakati ya watu kujiongeza pesa mingi namna hiyo. Mimi nasema siungi mkono kabisa kitu kama hiyo.
Why should Yachai and Paul play to the public gallery? Yachai is misplaced, confused, deceitful.
Hapa iko baraza kubwa eh?
While that aside, you should never burn bridges, and one William Samoei Arap Ruto knows this better. So, did you meet the Prime Minister for a coalition deal?
But let me tell you, I haven't yet had an opportunity to talk to the Prime Minister. But I am looking for him.
Ndio mimi naomba Ruto, kwa sababu hii siasa tumeingia, apige hesabu. Na tukatai, lakini apige hesabu. Kwa sababu hata Raila Odinga amesema ya kwamba ile deputy party leader hajatoa hiyo.
The Democrats and Republicans talking.
If you happen to come across the Prime Minister, tell him William Ruto is looking for him.
In the orange farm, it appears there is a bumper harvest.
Kuna mawe yanarushwa kwa chungwa pande hii na pande hii. Mti yenye matunda ndio urushiwa mawe. Hakuna mtu yote ambaye atakwenda kurusha mawe kwa mti ambaye ni tupu. Hiyo ni kazi bure, sio?
Don't be scared when people seek us out, because they want to join us, not us join them.
Vile umeona umbwa hubweka, lakini umbwa hubweka akiona paka. Umbwa hubweki akiona chura, akiona komba mwiku. Ukiona kibweka akiona ODM, ndio kwamba ODM ni kubwa kuwashinda. Wapi wimbo? Leta wimbo moja kidogo tuchangamke kidogo.
But one man, Noah Wekesa, the Luhya prophet, knows not where to go.
Mahali Noah Wekesa iko, ndio president upatikana.
I don't belong to the school of politicians. I belong to a school where political parties are formed to grab power. If we are not ready to grab power, tell us so that we go to the parties that are ready to grab power.
Mimi siwezi kupigia mtu ambaye anaenda kuanguka kura.
All in the quest for money and power.
For once, we are not going to be ashamed to fight for our rights, because our rights are enshrined just like the rights of commissioners and other public officers.
Samogina, KTN News Shot.
By all means, whoever has anything to demonstrate, I invite him to come out and do so. Truly, I invite anybody who wants to demonstrate something meaningful. Because if you interfere with a child who is doing examination, what are you demonstrating? Indeed, what are you demonstrating? That you are stupid.
Kwa miezi 6, kipindi kipya cha Sema Kenya kitatembelea kila pembe ya nchi ili kukupa nafasi ya kuwahoji viongozi wako.
Kosa moja aliachichimike.
Lakini huyu mke amekuwa na makosa mengi wanavyosema.
Lango langu ni hizi kwa upande wa polisi.
Usalama na vijana na ajira. Suluhu liko wapi?
Na hao ndio wenye kuchoma, hao ndio wenye kuimbia, wenye kupiga kura, au umewaweka wapi?
Sema Kenya kila Jumapili kuanzia saa 12 jioni kwenye KTN.
Sema usinifungie baraka.
It's all about big laughter.
Watoto wa jirani akikamu, madhangu anaeka uji kwa bakuli, anatuwekea hapo katikati, sisi tunawapewa vijiko au anapewa uma.
It's all about the biggest comedian.
Rongai mafuriko, Turukana mafuriko, Ukambani ya kunyeshi, kwa nini?
The best jokes.
Now get the difference between and this. Alafu wa Kenya wakihamu wanakanga hivi. DJ nipatie hamu ya Kenya.
Selector!
Hiyo ni humming.
It's the biggest, craziest comedy show on TV.
Wacha tukutane na polisi. Hobe! Suspense.
Catch the crazy comedy show every Wednesday at 7:40 p.m.
Swag nayo.
Let's now talk sports. And Sports Minister Babu Namwamba has assured anti-doping agencies that they will work with them closely to ensure Kenyan sportsmen and women do not use performance-enhancing drugs. The minister said that already they are investigating allegations against Kenyan athletes that were made early this year.
While the claims have been levied against a number of elite Kenyan athletes this year, with some speculating that the recent poor outing in the Olympic Games in London could have been as a result of some of the athletes using